Wearing fake Dior's to school.
I got fucking jumped in the hall and they got stolen.
Walking around London and you're scared. You're turning your bag the wrong way round so that people can't tell what bag you've got. Lots of people were being robbed and those kinds of things. So I started keeping some of my bags in a vault, realised that I didn't want to be putting myself, when I'm out and about, in danger. I've got a family. Why would I put things in my home that could make my home unsafe?
As you saw, Lydia talks a lot about safety, and as someone who's friends with high earners and influencers who've owned Birkins, Rolexes, luxury, blah, 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 every single one of them has faced a death attempt, a robbery, got jumped for their watch. My friend who got jumped in Beverly Hills for his Rolex told me the story about how this lady got run over by a car for her Birkin at one of the safest, nicest malls in America. Moral of the story, guys, luxury and shiny image are not always worth it. Invest your money into shit you can't get robbed or killed for instead, like index funds, a home, therapy.
Let me tell you the truth that nobody really wants to say out loud. Kids are not risking their lives for a coat. They're risking their lives for a sense of identity, for the feeling of being somebody in a world that keeps telling them they're no one. And it's time that we talk about it, okay? Hey Rych Babes, it's Robin Milan and welcome back to the channel. So every week, another story, another mother is crying, another child is gone, another child is robbed, jumped, or stalked on their way home for a coat, for a belt, for a pair of shoes, for a designer logo that don't even belong to them. And if you sit back and think that it's just violence, you're missing the bigger picture. This is economic trauma. This is identity crisis. This is the generational pain dressed as drip. Kids aren't dying over designer. They're dying over the need to belong, the pressure to look rich when everything around them reminds them that they are not. All right, let's get right into this. Trigger warning, all right? And make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back shortly.
Possibility that robbers were trying to take the jacket of a 17-year-old who was shot and killed. As detectives search for shooters tonight, those who knew Tristan Johnson gathered in an extraordinary show of support for his family. News 4's Jackie Benson was there.
The village of people, current and former classmates, their parents, teachers, and others who were touched by Tristan Johnson's energy and enthusiasm gathered to flow love to his family. The auditorium at Ingenuity Prep in Southeast Washington was filled with people who are terribly shaken by the loss of the 17-year-old. Many had known him since first grade.
He was like a son to me.
A 14-year-old was shot and wounded during an attempted coat robbery. Let's get over to Fox 5's Stephanie Ramirez. She's live in Hyattsville tonight with the latest details.
Jim, we know this 14-year-old is in critical but stable condition in the hospital, shot in the chest over a coat here. Now, it happened along the Canterbury Road area behind me here. This is a newer residential road just behind Northwestern High School. We did speak with the police chief today. Here are his words on the situation.
This is a nationwide issue related to young adults involved in violent crime. And unfortunately, this is a circumstance that's here in our community and impacts folks who are here in broad daylight that had to witness this, and the trauma to the victim, his family, and this community is absolutely ridiculous.
Fox 5 photographer Josh Harrington was rolling as police pulled evidence from this scene. We're told this shooting was over a Moose Knuckles jacket. It happened on Canterbury Road, as we told you. This is just to the left of Northwestern High School's football field. It was at around 12:05 this afternoon. Police say 3 teens were walking when they were approached by 3 males believed to be juveniles as well. One of them tried to take the 14-year-old's coat. Then the 14-year-old fights back, and the struggle moves up the street. Multiple shots are fired. One of the bullets hitting the teen in the chest. The townhouse community behind the school where this shooting happened is so new. Neighbors were both surprised and spooked.
The hood rich psychology, right? Which is the drip is currency. If you ain't got no drip, you ain't popping for real. So let's start there. In wealthy neighborhoods, designer is a luxury. In poverty neighborhoods, designer is survival. Because in the hood, respect is currency, image is protection, and drip is identity. All right, you cannot step foot outside without making sure you got on them Balenciagas. Okay, making sure you ain't got on that Gucci belt, just so you can stand on the corner, okay, and talk to the same people trapped in the same hood as you. And the kids see this. So kids who don't feel powerful try to also look powerful. Kids who don't feel safe try to dress safe. Kids who don't feel valuable try to wear value. In neighborhoods where kids feel invisible, designer makes them feel seen. And nobody wants to admit this. Okay? No, they just bad kids. Yeah, like, I understand the behavior, but it's deeper than that. And right, let's be honest. When you don't feel like you have much, your outfit becomes everything. Your shoes are your confidence, your coat is your pride, your bag is your worth. And sadly, other kids target you for the same validation.
Regular shit, man. Niggas don't know about the lime green Montclair. Not a lot of niggas got these shit. It's like 1 of 50. You got the NFC tag? You sturdy, man. What you trying to scam my coat for? You don't believe me? Bro, come on.
Nah. I know you're a brick right now.
Y'all niggas know Montclair is not warm. I could bet, Brad, I'm 10 times warmer than you.
I could bet I get 10 times more bitches than you.
But I'll still put bitches in the gas. Fuck you talking about?
You was not going out with us. That shit's that heat tonight.
Yeah, at least I have a coat. A lot of niggas don't even got a coat. You ain't about to just single me out. This guy got a guest coat. I'm dunk fly right now.
What's the type of guest coat you got? Look like a fucking human highlighter.
I stand out. The bitch is gonna see me first, dickhead. Y'all niggas go for anything just cause I got a Montclair tag on it. Did you even know this not even a fucking coat? Did you know that's just a fucking jacket? You so concerned about a Montclair, you ain't even got a fucking car. You gonna be outside freezing while I'm inside my second coat. Warm as shit. Ain't no bitch gonna fuck with you just cause you got a Montclair. She gonna think you got a car, but where your car gonna be at? Nowhere to be fucking found.
My car to B47.
That's some bum ass shit to say. Your priorities is fuck. Instead of spending all that money you did on that coat, you could got your little hoopty nigga to get you from A to B.
But everything is first impression.
I don't care about first impression. She gonna catch the second impression when she see my car. Now she gonna want to be on my dick. This is why you forever be broke. You have a Montclair. You still live in the P's, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a car?
No.
Do you got a band in your account?
Oh, no.
Did y'all see that video of this mom that had bought her son some school clothes? She spent $700 on his school clothes. But that's not the problem. The problem is like what she bought for him. So right here, you can see a little bit of it. She bought 2 pairs of sweatpants for him and 6 shirts in total. That's all of his clothes. $700. And she was more so like, I know I spent $700, but this is all that I got? Yeah, I don't think you realized where you were shopping at. And I see a polo shirt right there, and it looked like some polo sweats to match, too. Look, bro, you better go to Ross, Target. I ain't gonna lie, don't sleep on Walmart either. You can go to Gabe's. There's a whole lot of stores. H&M, Primark. Like, yo, you don't gotta spend that crazy amount of money on... Nah, I ain't gonna lie, though. If she would've went to all them stores that I just listed and spent $700 in total, yo, I ain't gonna lie, your son would have had so much clothes, it would have lasted him the whole year. And on top of that, when you hit them stores, you gotta pick and choose what you want. Cause some of that stuff in there be trash. Like, I just be looking like, nah, we ain't doing that. But a lot of that stuff, bro, man, a lot of that stuff, people wear it every day and don't even notice it. I'm trying to tell you, if you would have spent $700 in Walmart alone, just Walmart, yo, you would have been walking out, realistically, probably about 40 fits. 40. That's matching shirts and pants. Realistically.
I feel that with signs of ultra level class, and I'm talking like Hermes Birkins or something like that, I feel like it only looks good if you've earned it, in a sense. And what I mean by that is I feel so, like, it is so tacky to me when I see videos of, like, a 12-year-old carrying around, like, a Kelly. Or, like, a 16-year-old with, like, a Gucci belt or something. Because to me, what it reeks of is the parents just needing everyone to know their status. And that's tacky as fuck to me. Like, I think all of it is stupid, to be honest. Anything designer, anything that you're spending that kind of money on, I think is redonkulous. But I will say, I just think is so fucking corn dog to be like, let me have my 8-year-old in Chanel.
If you know you ain't buy your child no Beats, why they coming home with Beats? Beats, AirPods, Apple Watches. Y'all kids go to school and steal. And then y'all are just oblivious to whatever is going on. What's going on? High school and middle school is a playground for thieving children because these kids be going up at school stealing. Can fill out a little incident report. That's about it. Y'all just gonna let y'all kids steal people's stuff? You ain't gonna ask no questions. Your child just wearing Beats that you know you ain't buy. And you just don't give a damn, huh? We could track the beats to your house. We could track the AirPods to your house. We could track the Apple Watch to your house. Y'all don't be caring though, huh? But when somebody show up to get their stuff back, everybody's confused. You know damn well you ain't buy that child no beats. So why they walk around your house with beats on? Come on now. We work too hard for our stuff. We coming to get it. We coming to get it, and we might bring the police. We might not. Y'all better get y'all stealing ass kids.
To the richest neighborhoods, their children are not dressed in designer clothes, especially their young children. They're dressed in Target. They're dressed in Children's Place. They're dressed in Oshkosh Bagosh. They're not dressed in no Polo. They're not dressed in no Jordan. That's hood stuff. Okay. That's how you automatically know the child is from parents that's broke. When they try to dress them up to make it look like they're not broke. It's kind of like putting what they say lipstick on a pig. It's the same equivalent because you're overcompensating.
And the hood economics of it all. Why are kids robbing each other? Like, you ever ask why these robberies keep happening? Because kids are being raised in environments where money is low, stress is high, validation is everything, social media is 24/7 comparison, and self-worth is measured in logos and not lessons. They're not robbing a coat. They're robbing the feeling that the coat gives them. The moment where they finally don't feel broke. The moment where they feel on top. That moment where they feel like the man, right? Even if it's temporary, okay? They rob the kids and they rob anyone else that they can see. You sitting on that subway, going past Anacostia, going past South Capitol, they're going to get you, okay? That's why a lot of times people don't even wear those things on the subway anymore. This is economics mixed with trauma, mixed with ego, and mixed with survival. A deadly combination, okay? And another thing I want to point out is that designer is emotional armor. No one wants to talk about this part. Okay, when the home isn't stable, when school feels like a battlefield, when childhood is full of pressure instead of peace, kids find safety in material things. Designer becomes emotional armor. It's the I might not have control over my life, but I can control what I wear. I may not feel valuable inside, but I can look valuable outside. I don't feel like I matter unless I'm wearing something that does. This isn't fashion, this is coping, y'all.
By the time they get to 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses and how to. But they don't really need to know how to read.
Wait,
I ain't gonna say that.
I'm gonna just say this. I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level.
7th grade English teacher here. I teach in Northern Houston, and I teach at one of the more affluent schools. When I tell you that these babies cannot read, they cannot write, and they cannot comprehend, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious. It doesn't exist. I have kids constantly asking me, how do I spell window? How do I spell important? How do I spell though? And they be serious. They're dead serious. I could ask them, who is the main character of your story? The story of 4-paragraph story we just read. Can't tell you. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. It took us 4 weeks to get through how to answer a question in a complete sentence.
Students, I don't know where y'all getting this money from. I know y'all getting it from your mama and your daddy. But mama and daddy ain't checking them grades. Because why you got all that designer on first day of school? And last year, your whole report card added up to a D average.
But they passed their grade, didn't they?
Barely. In my household, even though they passed that little law or whatever it was that D was considered passing, D was not passing. It was a C.
I don't know if I should find this very sad or very hilarious, but this is actually crazy. Illinois has 24 schools where not a single child can read at a grade level. Illinois State Board of Education schools with 0 students scoring proficient on the IAR or the SAT in 2024. These are all the schools that are listed right here, and you see that number right here, students proficient in reading, 0.
The kids are out here wearing designer brands to school. Okay. My question is, could they point out or even read the name of the designer without it being in its own logo? Just questions that I would like to know the answers to.
And listen, the parents buying designer for kids who cannot read. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with buying it for your kids, but if your kids can't read, okay, listen, let's talk about the parents, okay? Like, why are the parents buying $1,200 coats for kids who can't read past the 2nd grade? Why are we rewarding children with Jordans when they can't even spell Jordan, okay? No, for real, at this point. Like, why are we raising kids who know every designer logo, every rap song, but don't know their ABCs? Like, and can't tell you what level they're reading on at all. And before you get offended, listen, here are the statistics, because you know I definitely did my research. So according to the National University, they did a study and found out that 54% of American adults reading below the equivalent of a 6th grade level. A 6th grade level. These are adults who can't even read past the 6th grade. Also, there are 70 million Americans under the age of 18, leaving 285 million adults over the age of 18, right? 18 and over. And of the adult population, 21% are illiterate. 54% have a literacy level below grade 6, like I mentioned before. And 20% of those below the grade 5. Like, that's so crazy. That's almost 214 million American adults in total. In total. And lastly, according to the nation's report card, 8th grade males in 2024, only 14% of Black 8th graders were reading at a proficient level, and only 17% of Black 4th graders scored at or above the proficient level in 2024, a figure that has not changed since 2022. Like, this is absolutely crazy. And understanding that the NAEP results show that while 30% of all 4th graders nationwide are proficient readers, only 17% Black 4th grade readers are. Like, let that sink in. Out of the 30% of all 4th grade nationwide readers that are proficient in reading, only 17% of Black 4th graders are proficient. And here's why I even mentioned this. Another thing that a teacher told me, which shocked me so badly, and that made me just go even harder on my children and making sure that they read well, is that the states use the 4th grade reading scores to predict future prison capacity.
They build jails based on 4th grade population reading level. So if you aren't able to read by 4th grade, that's the projection that they use to build the institution. So you got to start early.
What? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Failing in reading, we know they're going to be future inmates.
Yes. Yes. If you don't put them on the right path to success. Because why aren't they reading? Are they getting the help they need at home?
Mm-hmm.
Are they in the right schools?
Mm-hmm.
What's contributing to that illiteracy for not being able to read?
How do we protect Black men? They're being prosecuted.
You have to just make sure that we start them before they get to that point where they need a lawyer or that they're facing criminal prosecution or any sort of action. And that is with the mentoring, with the sponsoring.
Yeah.
It's all about who they see, who they want to emulate, who's pouring into them first. You got to grab our kids before.
It's no secret that cities and states use 3rd and 4th grade math and reading scores to determine just how many jails and prisons that they will need in a certain area. But have you ever asked yourself just how they are able to determine and predict future incarcerations just from some test scores? Hold on, I'm finna tell you. They are using something that is known as the Matthew effect. What is the Matthew effect? The Matthew effect states that if your child does not learn certain key fundamental skills by the 3rd grade, then chances are they will never learn them, and the gaps that they have will continue to grow. According to statistics, illiteracy leads to higher crime rates, and higher crime rates leads to higher incarceration. So if they take those test scores within the area of the 3rd and 4th grade and they see that they are low in reading and low in math, well, then that tells the state, that tells the city that more prisons and more jails need to go up because these 3rd and 4th graders statistically will be illiterate, which means higher crime, which means higher incarceration.
Did you not know that? Oh my God. A child who cannot read by the 4th grade is 4 times more likely to drop out. Yeah. And yet, we are more concerned about how our kids look than how our kids are learning, especially after 2020 when all the kids had to stay home. And that's where we saw another major dip in the reading level. Okay. And these parents are more invested into a coat on their back than the future that is in their hands. And that's not judgment. That is just a heartbreak. Okay. They be like, oh, my kid got the latest, but your kid can't fucking read or write or talk or count at all. And y'all think it's cute because he dressed down in designer headed so.
Why don't you take little man's to Saks Fit?
What are we gonna go to Saks for?
To get some design.
Bro, I'm not buying no designer. Bro, Walmart right here. Watch this. I'm getting 3 outfits and some slides. Bro, I got 2 outfits, a pair of slides, a pair of socks, and a jacket for $50. You wanna go to Saks Fit for what? You gonna wear it for one time, you gonna grow out of it. We can look good right here for $50. I got 2 outfits and a jacket for, come on, $50. You couldn't get that at Saks? We can't even get a sack at Saks.
The kids be kids. He has no chance in society once he gets older. Like, they can't even fill out an application. They have to have their mother. By the time they are, 20-something years old, they got to have their mother or their girlfriend fill out an application for them. Like, I've seen it. I'm sitting up here like, you don't know what you came in here for? What you come in here for? Oh, she got it. What you mean she got it? Man, babe, tell her what I need. Oh, well, yeah, he came in here. He need this. Oh, he's applying for that. I'm like, nigga, you can't talk for yourself. But, not to be funny, but it's the real thing. But listen, because kids who cannot read are being dressed like they're rich while living a future designed to keep them poor. So, my loves, I want to also point out the school to designer pipeline, right? This is the part that really kind of made me feel some type of way. On top of the reading statistics, okay? Like, this is the part that made me really feel some type of way. Kids are not being prepared for success. They're being prepared for the struggle. But being dressed in luxury is a perfect trap. They look wealthy enough to be targeted. They feel wealthy enough to be robbed, but they're educated enough to be controlled. It's not a school to prison pipeline anymore. It's a school to designer to the prison pipeline, okay? Where education is low, confidence is low, opportunities is low, but the fashion is so high. And this is the psychological warfare on our children, okay? What Drake say?
My dog will probably do it for Louis Bell. That's just all he know, he don't know nothing else. I tried to show him.
So why the hood punishes visible success? And here's another truth, okay? So when you come from a place where everyone feels depleted, right, and deprived, any sign of having more becomes a threat. And that's why kids get robbed. Not because they deserve it, but because the environment is so sick. Because these type of neighborhoods condition kids to believe that if I can't have it, I'll take it from someone who does, right? The real luxury, though, is safety, literacy, and peace. Designer does not make a child rich. These do, okay? A child who can read, a safe walk home, a stable home, okay? A regulated nervous system, a future with options, a life where they don't feel pressure to perform wealth, a community that doesn't punish them just for trying. Real wealth is not a coat. Real wealth is a childhood, a real childhood. And I understand they rob the kids and they rob other people too. They rob anyone who they see who has a designer, and they're going to get it. And they don't even know if it's real or fake or not. They're going to rob you for it, and sometimes even worse, just to grab the bag, and the coat just to get the coat and feel like somebody. They will do anything to get that feeling. And listen, rich babes, and kids are not chasing designer. They're chasing validation in a world that refuses to validate them. They don't want the item. They want the identity. They want the belonging. They want the feeling of being enough. And until we fix the conditions, until we fix the schools, until we fix those homes, okay, and don't just blame it on the single mothers. I don't want to hear none of y'all in there talking about what these single mothers, because where's the daddies at? Where the daddies at? Okay, how about that? All right, listen, we all play a part in something, so stop it. And until we fix the emotional and the financial trauma, designer will keep becoming a target, and the kids will keep becoming the victims. So here's what I need you to take away from this. All right, a $1,200 coat does nothing for a child who cannot read. A Gucci belt can't fix a broken educational system. A logo can't save a life, but awareness can, accountability can, a community can, and change can definitely do that, right? And just talking to them and not just looking down on them, all right? And actually just understanding deeper, like, yeah, they did wrong, they're doing wrong, all right? But why? It's always the why. Why? And sometimes they can't even explain the feeling because they can't even articulate their emotions because they can't read, okay? And some of them are very smart as well, but for the most part, it's just sad. Like, it's just so sad all in together. So my lovelies, get on the VIP email list, all right? The link is down in the description box below. Make sure you join me in the champagne room as well, the private community. The links is down below. And I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Until next time, rich babes, stay rich. Love you.